All right.
You
beautiful bastards.
You see the world grow round. The world of anime is so vast and big. The normies will never understand that anime gives you joy and lessons to learn and friendships to build. There's so many things that anime teaches us. Normies will never understand our meanings of anime because they suck balls. Anime is a world we can go to relax our mind. Choices of hardship in real life. We come together. We talk about women and memeable moments.
No, enough.
We have
enough.
so
You crossed
much
the line.
to
You crossed the line.
talk about.
You crossed the line. Stop.
Shut the hell up
Stop.
in
You
my
crossed the line.
song, you butt! Alright, you ruined it. I'm not continuing my song no more.
Because you crossed the line.
How did I cross the line?
We don't talk about women. We've
Anime
never
women. I was talking about anime women.
I've never spoken to a woman.
What's a woman? They don't exist.
Exactly.
Anime weebs don't exist. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Welcome to another special episode of the Anime Match Kit podcast. As always, I am your humble host, Jack. With me today is
the
my
beautiful
co-host,
singer, Ryu. What's up, man? What's up?
What's
you
up?
You guys gotta hear a little deeper voice because I'm finally getting out of my sickness because I was sick early, for at least a couple of weeks. So if you hear my voice a little deeper than normal, that's the reason why.
That's your podcaster voice.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I wish it would stay, but it's not going to stay.
Yeah, you're the man with the golden voice.
Hey, what's up, brother? Well, of course, I just sang a song, so come on. I got to milk it.
We got fucking Leonard Cohen over here.
Hey!
All right. So welcome back to another episode of the Anime Match Kit podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the 1986 cyberpunk classic Akira, but before we jump into that, there's just a couple of news items that we have to talk about.
Yeah, we gotta talk about some dumb shit that is happening in the internet right now because, my God, what the hell is Elon Musk even thinking? The fuck is he even doing?
Oh, you want to talk about Twitter?
Yes,
okay.
Let's talk about the fucking dumbass, what he's doing with Twitter. He bought Twitter, now he's giving verifications all out, and he's saying, you have to have a certain amount of amounts that you can tweet out from your favorite content
slow down
creators.
there, slow your roll there, bud. So let's give the audience a little bit of context before
yes,
we really
please,
get into
because I'm pissed
shit.
off. What the hell? Leave
all
Twitter
right.
alone.
So for those of you who've been living under a Dwayne Johnson, the owner of Twitter is obviously Elon Musk. Elon Musk bought Twitter some time ago
with a sink in his hand in the court meetings.
Okay, so Twitter is owned by Elon Musk, and a lot of people have accused Elon Musk of just constantly ruining Twitter with all of his business decisions and all of his executive decisions that he has made. Recently, Elon Musk tweeted out saying that there would be a limit of posts that users can see in their newsfeed, depending whether or not you are a verified account or an unverified account. So anybody who doesn't have the blue check mark and who doesn't pay $8 a month to be a verified account, you are limited to only 600 posts a day. So what that means is that, you know, if you follow a lot of accounts, if you follow like your favorite celebrities, your favorite game developers, your favorite movie studios, what have you, and if those accounts are constantly posting updates and all that stuff, you're not going to get all of those posts. That the people that you follow, you're not going to see all of their posts, because if you are not a verified account, you are not going to see more than 600 tweets a day. And so that's going to really hurt Twitter users, because you're not going to be able to see the interactions and the posts and all these updates that your favorite content creators and that the people that you follow post. And it's really going to hurt Twitter in the long run.
And also to weave it up, all those Twitter accounts you follow for the great booba animation and all that, Yeah, you're not gonna see those anymore after a 600 limit.
Yeah,
You're not longer gonna see those.
yeah.
All the amazing booba, all the amazing animations you're gonna see, all the off-brand creators out there that you follow, they're
Mm-hmm.
gone. After 600, all the content they created, all the accounts you follow because of them,
Yeah.
they're gone. You're not gonna see them no more. That's all for the explanations for the weebs out there.
Yeah, because, and this only has been going on for a few days, but for a while, I feel that on my Twitter feed, I keep seeing less and less of my favorite creators.
Because they
in
all
their feed.
left. There's a couple of creators that I follow said that they're no longer gonna be using Twitter because of the shit they're doing.
But not only that, the accounts that I still follow on Twitter, because I follow a lot of movie studios, I follow a lot of directors and stuff like that, and I don't see a lot of their posts as often. I don't really see them. They get buried by the algorithm. So the posts that I do see are posts that I really don't give a fuck about. And and so that's why I use Twitter less and less. And so the way that Twitter is being run right now is just very it's just very how would I say it? It's very anti-consumer. It's very anti-user. Because I'm not getting the experience that I want out of Twitter. I'm just getting like the algorithm on Twitter is just showing me all this stupid stuff.
Like the trending stuff, like what's happening in the world, whatever is trending, all that.
Yeah.
It's basically all the content creators you want to get updates are being covered by the algorithm that she wants to show you, not what you want to show you.
Yeah, because like, and also the way that I feel that Twitter also, the way that they show you posts is because, you know, I like a lot of movies and I also like a lot of horror movies. And so sometimes I'll see like a cool post, somebody posts like a cool picture or something about like a horror movie. I'll give it a like, I'll give it a retweet. But then everything in my feed is just like horror movies. And it's from like creators who I don't even follow or who I don't even care about. And
like who wants to see stuff that they don't even know who and also like. And of course I like the genre of it, but who the fuck are these?
And so that's very frustrating because the way that the Twitter algorithm works, I'm just gonna be wasting all of my 600 posts on things that I don't even want to see, and then I'm never gonna be able to see what the people that I actually follow. I'm not gonna see their posts. And
no more anime posts.
Yeah,
no
and so
booba.
Essentially they're twisting your arm and making you pay the $8 a month to get your account verified because a lot of
dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because a lot of people back when Elon created this option for Twitter, a lot of people were like kind of like dunking on him and saying like, oh, you know, only stupids, only idiots pay $8 a month to get verified. And a lot of people stopped paying, or they decided not to pay the $8 to be verified. A lot of celebrities who used to have the blue check mark now don't have it anymore because like this is fucking stupid. So I feel that this is a way for Twitter to force people to have their accounts verified so Twitter can make a lot more money. But also at the same time, the reason why this is happening is that a lot of people are speculating that Elon doesn't want to pay for like the cloud services. He doesn't want to pay for the storage for all these tweets. So by doing this system, by doing this algorithm, he's limiting the amount of tweets that people can create so that Twitter doesn't have to be buying up more like hard drive space or cloud storage so that they can store everybody's tweets and videos and photos on Twitter. So it's just a way to cut costs on that too.
Boo.
Exactly.
Go boo on that. The hell.
And so a lot of people, the day that Elon posted his tweet, a lot of people were hashtagging RIP Twitter. And I think it might be happening.
Yep, it's gone. It's
because Twitter
no more.
Twitter might be going down the road of like Tumblr. Because like remember Tumblr?
No more.
Nobody does use Tumblr because a lot of people used to use Tumblr because Tumblr allowed like not safe for work material.
Yes.
But when they decided
100%.
Yeah, but when they decided to take off the not safe for work stuff, a lot of people migrated to Twitter.
Yep.
Because one thing that Twitter has been famous for is that they allow like not safe for work content on their site. Baby. With like little to no restrictions.
Yeah, baby. That's why all the weebs out there go for the good sauce.
Exactly. But now with all these like anti-user business decisions, I think it's really going to affect Twitter. And I think Twitter might not be as I predict that Twitter might not be a thing in like the next 5 years if it continues going on this path.
Yeah, honestly, Elon Musk, if you want to keep Twitter alive, just return it how it was. It was a beautiful thing how it was.
Yeah.
Just return it how it was. Just fix the machine. That's all you need to do.
But people were really rooting for Elon Musk to, be the CEO and owner of Twitter because
they thought he made it better. Made the services more better and everything.
And he was also gonna like loosen the restrictions on like speech and not be so uptight on content. But which was, pretty true because he did put back like a lot of people. Like, for example, did you know that Donald Trump was banned on Twitter?
Yes.
And so Elon Musk brought him back. Yeah, he unbanned him. But now Elon Musk is doing like all this shit. And also like a lot of people think that Elon Musk just bought Twitter so that he could ban people from talking shit about Tesla. Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't want that, he should at least make the cars better, like the Cybertruck. He say, "Oh, these glass will not be broken at all." Brakes.
Exactly. So instead of making his cars better, he bought a social media platform so that he could ban people from not criticizing his cars.
It's just like a little kid saying, stop making fun of me."
Exactly.
And he tells his parents, "Mom, tell them to stop making fun of me." And then he literally bought Twitter, aka the mother, and then bans everyone from making shit about their cars.
Oh, but did you hear about him and Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook?
Oh, what's happening? What is the lizard man talking about?
So Facebook was going to create like this platform to kind of like compete with Twitter. They were going to create like some new like social media, and Elon got his panties in a bunch and he kind of started beef with Mark Zuckerberg. And it got to a point where like both of them were like saying, "Oh, we should have like a cage fight. We should fight each other."
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing that around. I kind of wondered what the hell was happening. I didn't know no contents. I saw that during my break at work. I literally saw that during my break at work. I was in, I think I saw it in like in a YouTube short. I was going through shorts because I don't have that much time for breaks.
Yeah.
And so I just go through my shorts. I was going through all of it. And then on one side, someone was talking about Elon Musk and Zuckerberg were going to have a cage fight.
Yeah.
I went through the comments to see the context, what the hell is going on. No context at all. I was wondering the whole entire time, like, I need to do some research on this. But I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, so they got into this beef because, Mark Zuckerberg kind of like wants to muscle in on Elon's territory. And Elon's like, no.
No, that's not on Elon's territory because he bought Twitter. Doesn't mean he knows the territory.
Yeah,
he
and
just bought the property of that territory.
And it's like, you can't stop another person from competing with you.
Exactly.
Like, it's not illegal
There's
to
always
compete
competitors.
Yeah.
There's always competitors gonna go against you.
Exactly. But but fucking Elon has like this fucking big ass ego. Like I legitimately think that Elon thinks that he's fucking Tony Stark or some person. Or like Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. He has that kind of ego.
My God. What he's gonna do, build a portal to go and get his multiple version of himself and start conquering the planet and make a freaking Elon.
I don't think he's gonna go that. I don't think he's gonna go that far. But he has that type of ego. Like he's like, I'm the greatest, most richest genius ever. And so he wanted to fight Mark Zuckerberg. But a lot of people are saying, we're saying that Mark Zuckerberg could probably kick his ass because Mark Zuckerberg does train in martial arts. I don't remember exactly what martial arts he does, but he's been training in martial arts. And also Mark Zuckerberg I think he's a little bit more fit than Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk, he's kind of a chunky boy. If you've seen shirtless pics of him.
Oh yeah, he's a chunky boy.
So who knows how that would have turned out. But they're not going to be fighting because guess who stepped in to stop Elon and Zuck from fighting?
Who? I want to know.
Elon's actual mother stepped in and said, no, boys, calm down. You guys need to take a chill. You guys need to go to one corner. You go to the other corner. There will be no fighting.
She was mother of the year.
Yeah, she was legit afraid that her son was gonna get hurt.
On God, the best mother right there. Well, even though her mom can be paid to not interfere, she just goes in. She's a god of all mothers. She taught her billionaire son,
Yeah.
to shut the hell up and get to the corner. You're grounded.
Yeah, because I don't because she's probably tired of all of Elon's shit, because Elon acts like a fucking child. He acts like a fucking child. He like spends all his time on Twitter like fucking trolling people. And like he's sort of like, and he's almost like a cult leader. There's like all these people who like love dick riding Elon Musk. So
no, they're
so
real life dick riders.
Yeah, so he has all these dick riders, and all that does for his ego is just make him more arrogant and more more childish.
They exist in anime. What the hell? They exist in real life. They're really dick riders out there. Damn.
Oh yeah, dick riders exist. Dick riders have existed for a long time.
Well, I only thought they existed in anime. What the hell, man?
But yeah, but that's basically all I have to say about Elon and Twitter. On our next news report, did you see the new photos for the new Netflix adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I have not. If you were gonna say One Piece,
we'll get to that one next.
Hell yeah, I've seen One Piece. It's been created by the actual creator himself. Of course, I know.
I wanted to talk about Avatar first because there really isn't like a trailer. There's only photos, and they revealed the logo for the series.
Wait, didn't it bomb the first time?
So no, so you're thinking of the 2010 movie The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. That was the first live action adaptation of the Avatar: The Last Airbender series. But that one was a huge bomb. But now Nickelodeon and Netflix are giving it another try with this new adaptation. So this one's gonna be a TV show, not a movie.
Okay, that will be much better because they will have more time to plan everything and have recut and everything. That's actually a much better plan.
So and on paper that sounds like a really good idea, but a lot of people are having reservations about it because the original creators of the Nickelodeon series, they ended up leaving that production. They were initially on board at the beginning of the pre-production and development of the show, but they ended up leaving because they were dissatisfied because of too many creative differences on the show. So now the show is being run by completely different people.
Oh, it's not being created by the actual creators that made
because
Airbender?
They were just dissatisfied by the direction, the way that the show was going.
Well, it happened to Legend of Korra, so I understand why.
So they're out of that. So they're out of the loop on that show. But I did want to mention the photos. The ones that they released, they look pretty good to me. Aang, the way that his costume looks is very show accurate.
All right, good. I was gonna give shit.
And also, do you remember like in that 2010 Avatar movie, the way that the actor who played Aang, his tattoo arrow, the way that how it was so intricate and it was kind of like made up of like all these different symbols and
what the
lines?
Hell? The original the show was just a straight arrow.
Yeah, it was
from
just
forehead, arms, and feet. That's it.
Yeah, it was just like a solid blue arrow.
Yeah.
And so in this one, they kind of do like a combination of both the show and the movie. If you zoom in into the photo, you can still see that there's many like intricate like little designs on the arrow, but the arrow is still like a solid blue. So they kind of made the best of both worlds with that choice.
All right.
But I'm not too positive on Zuko's costume because they released a photo of the live action Zuko actor, and he's wearing Zuko's helmet, the one that he wears throughout season 1. Initially.
Okay.
And
when he's hunting the Avatar.
Yeah, and I don't like the way that his helmet looks on his head because I feel that the helmet is too big for the actor's head. It doesn't look practical. It looks kind of
out of place.
Yeah, it looks kind of out of place. It almost looks like it's like a cosplayer and not like an actual like professional costume design.
Well, they're probably gonna fix it. They probably noticed, but they just have the first release, right? Of the first pictures being leaked.
Yeah, because I can't comment too much on the show because there hasn't been any footage released of the show.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah.
Give it time.
Katara and Sokka, they look pretty alright. They added more details to their costumes.
They better make Sokka a funny guy because in the TV show he was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was the comic relief of the group.
He makes puns and I love him.
Yeah,
I love him because he makes terrible puns. And I love the guy so much.
Yeah, and in the movie they took it out.
He gets game too. He's
Yeah.
the one character that actually get game from with multiple women, but they all died. One became the moon.
Yeah, he was the Riz master of
Yeah.
that show.
The Riz. He was the good leader too.
Yeah. But there was also some controversy of Sokka's actor.
Why? What happened?
So for this new Netflix adaptation, Netflix and Nickelodeon decided to cast the characters' specific races. So because if you know Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's very Asian influenced.
Yes,
so
it is.
So the show is this big melting pot of like different Asian inspired cultures. So the characters are being portrayed by region correct actors. So they were only casting actors of like Asian or Native American descent. Native American mostly for like the Water Tribe, because the Water Tribe is influenced by Inuit culture. And so they had to cast like Native Americans. And so apparently Sokka's live action actor, he lied to the casting directors and the producers saying like, oh yeah, I'm Native American, I belong to this tribe, and so on and so forth. And it was discovered later that he essentially lied to them, that he's not actually truly Native American.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to get a role.
But I think he does have Asian descent. He's not a white guy, but he's just not the correct like race for the character.
Okay, I get it.
But the rest of the cast is being played by Asian actors. Are you familiar with the actor Daniel Day Kim?
Familiar.
Yeah, because he's a pretty popular actor in Hollywood. He's done like a lot of movies and TV shows. Most famous, he's known for the show The Good Doctor. He plays one of the characters on that show.
You mean the one that
he's like,
doctor...
I am a surgeon.
Yeah, okay,
Dr.
Han,
got
it.
I am a surgeon.
Yeah, got it now. Yeah.
So Daniel Day Kim plays Dr. Han, and so Daniel Day Kim is going to be playing Fire Lord Ozai in this new show.
Ooh, who's gonna play Iroh?
Iroh, he's being played by this Canadian Asian actor. I forget his name. But I have seen him like a lot on like TikTok, because the show that he was on, the sitcom, gets played a lot on TikTok because people just show clips of him being in that sitcom. But he looks pretty good for Iroh, because he matches kind of like Iroh's physical like body. Because if you look at Iroh from the cartoon and then you look at this actor, you can see, yeah, he'll make a good Iroh.
All right, good, because Iroh is the most beloved character of Avatar.
Yeah, he's a great mentor character.
Yeah, he is a beloved tea master, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If they fuck up Iroh, because I love Iroh so damn much, he gives out good quotes. They even bring him back from Legend of Korra, but they don't show him that much. But he is the best character in all of Avatar for being the best mentor, best uncle and father, and very emotional.
Probably like the best mentor character since like Yoda or something.
Yes, I love Iroh, but we're not going to Toph because I love Toph.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up. All right, so that's all I have to say about Netflix Avatar. So the big one is the Netflix adaptation of One Piece. That one actually did get a trailer.
It did, and it looks it looks wonky, but I'm excited because it's also being worked on at the creator of One Piece. So I'm actually like semi excited for it, even though all imitations Netflix did die and they fail.
I am not excited whatsoever. I don't get the hype.
It's the creator of One Piece.
I know.
The creator of One Piece is
actually
working with them
to
make it to make it good. It has to be at least be good, since the creator himself is working with them.
But just because the creator is on board doesn't mean it's going to be a good show. Because what worries me...
I know, but I'm saying it will at least be better than the other ones.
It'll probably be better than Death Note and Cowboy Bebop. But what worries me is that because this is live action and animation are two different mediums. So there's certain things that you can do in live action that don't quite work in animation, and vice versa. There's things in animation that you can do that doesn't quite work with live action. So I just hope that they adapt the story and the show and the episodes in a way where it feels natural and it feels justified. I just feel that they understand their limitations and they're able to produce a good product, because I don't want this to just be like a one-to-one thing, because I don't think adaptations always have to be so super similar, because you can have little differences and then that can make the adaptation a little bit special. But I'm just worried, because one thing that worries me is I don't like Luffy's actor. I don't like the way he comes off, because he doesn't seem like Luffy to me.
Yeah, he does not. Honestly, I will agree on that. He does not look like, or
he looks
feels
like
Luffy.
he looks like a cosplayer, and that's my problem. Like, a lot of the characters, they just look like straight up cosplayers.
That's basically what they are.
I know, but here's like the thing is, like, the cool thing about One Piece is, like, you know, because like it's an animation, they can do like all of Luffy's like stretching powers, and like Zoro's, like, you know, Zoro has like the green hair and it looks good in
And
animation.
also the races.
Yeah, it looks good in animation, but because, you know, when you bring it into live action, all I see is, oh, it's just a guy with dyed hair.
No, he's not. He's a source.
I know,
was
but when you
pirate bounty.
but when
becomes
no,
a pirate,
but I'm talking about,
became a sword master of 3 sword style.
no, but I'm talking about like how he comes off like in the trailer. In the trailer, he just looks like a guy with dyed hair.
Okay,
because he looks just like a guy that you would run into like in a Comic-Con.
Got it. Just weebs. We're talking about the live action. We're not talking about the anime. So
Yeah, exactly.
all
That's
you
my
dick
point.
writers out there to say, "How dare you disrespect Zoro?"
I'm not
Calm down. We're talking
disrespecting the
about
show or
animation.
or the
We're talking about
the adaptation.
the
yeah.
adaptation. So calm down. Okay. Hey. I see you guys back there.
Oh my
Calm
god!
down.
Stop fucking LARPing. There's nobody there. You bitch.
They're watching. I know they
Fucking
are.
bitch.
Calm down. All right. Calm down.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't like the way that this trailer comes off, because it just seems like the characters, they look like cosplayers. And also the one shot that they included of Luffy stretching, I was like, ugh, that looks like somebody, that effect looks like somebody made that effect in like their bedroom, like using After Effects. That doesn't look like a professional CG studio.
Sorry, I had to yawn.
Yeah, it was not good. I didn't like it.
Well,
but any other thoughts on One Piece trailer for Netflix?
Nah, I'm semi excited for it because the creator of One Piece is actually working on it. But
did you hear that the original voice cast of the Japanese anime are dubbing the Netflix series in Japan?
Really?
So it's the original actors. They're dubbing the Japanese language version of the Netflix series.
Oh, and at least something's going well enough.
And I will say this, Netflix at least casted a lot of Asian actors in the One Piece adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So at least people don't have to complain of like whitewashing or whatever.
All right, then.
Anything, any news that you want to bring up?
Only a short little news about the new anime that's coming out this July. Which on the day of recording, it has already become July. So I'm just gonna list the animes that I'm most excited to see, since their trailer release months ago. Is Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
That looks so good. The concept of that is just a guy working in the office, dead on life, really wants to end his life because his life is terrible. And then a zombie apocalypse happened, so he just becomes like the happy guy that's finally doing bucket lists that he wanted to do, which he couldn't because his dead-end job wasn't really giving him the freedom he wanted. So it just like we're just following a guy doing his bucket list in a zombie apocalypse.
It sounds like that show My Name is Earl from like 10 years ago.
All right, the second one that I'm so goddamn excited is coming out.
Season 2. All right, lay it on me.
Finally, season 2 of the Jobless Reincarnation. I love that anime so much. It's in our list too.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy. I saw it so much. The guy is a fucking pervert. I'm not gonna lie, but he got game. He got 3 women. He got 3 women.
Oh my.
He got 3 women. One he forgot about.
My.
Like one he raised to learn magic and forgot about. Another woman he trains with magic and trying to teach her all those things. She a bee, she a royal, but god damn, she keeps promises. And then the third one, her his teacher. I don't know if it because in the manga he got Riz. In the manga he got Riz. I love that man. He got Riz. But I'm not gonna go too much in the manga because goddamn, this boy got Riz. I'm so happy season 2 comes out. I want to see how much of the manga they gonna put in the anime for season 2 because this boy ended on a high note, fighting with this guy. I forgot the guy's name because he just there to go kill him. The last time I saw it.
Yeah, boy.
Season 2 is coming out, so I'm excited for season 2 to come out to see where we left off. Because in season 2 on the trailer, it looks like they're gonna end up do a time skip where he goes to school, the magical school. It looks like, because it shows of the reuniting of the first girl from season 1 that he teaches magic because everyone treats her like a pest. So looks like there's gonna be a time skip of him going to the academy and meeting that first friend he made. So I'm kind of excited for it. And there's also other animes that are coming out, which is Link Click season 2. Never seen it. Also Fake Strange Fake Whisperer's Dawn. Never seen it. Rent a Girlfriend season 3. Never seen. I only seen like a couple of episodes of Rent a Girlfriend. Really didn't took interest, but season 3 is coming out as well. And then Horimiya, The Missing Pieces, is just basically just a filler anime for all the parts of the manga that was supposed to be in the first anime that will make it better. It's just coming out in this part, just basically filling up, saying, "Oh, here's the parts we cut out from the anime because we didn't want to add it in," basically. And also another one, The Devil is a Part-Timer season 2 is finally coming out.
The Devil is a Lie.
And so this part is just them following around with a kid. They have a kid.
Oh my god.
So this time it's just a kid being around. So I'm kind of excited about that one. And then Mirukun Revenge R is coming out with a new season. It's basically just a guy getting revenge of this girl calling him fatty. That's it.
What does the R stand for?
I don't know.
I hope it's PC.
No, nah. And then another anime is coming out is Sugar and Apple Fairy Tale season 2. Never seen it. When I saw that, I actually started watching it. It's really good. I actually like it. It's really good.
You know what else is good?
It's very cute. I like cutesy little romance little things in there.
You know what else is good?
What's up?
My balls.
But the guy is so
got
ass.
him.
So yeah, that's basically it. That's all I want to talk about.
All right. Any new seasons of anything that we watched so far?
We watched so far, all the anime we watched so far didn't get any release, new season or anything.
Boo.
I know. Technically, the Reincarnated the Slime just got a movie. And I haven't had a chance to watch that movie.
We gotta check that one out.
We gotta go and check that out.
We gotta watch the Slim Shadys.
Yeah, I don't know any context. I just knew
Shady.
there was a movie and it was released. I didn't have a chance to watch it because work.
The time I got turned into a Slim Shady.
Yeah, my co-host really loves that. So that basically anything else, that's it. There's also anime that is released, has a movie like Black Clover. They're in the movie release. They're so good. My God, that movie was beautiful. I love it. But my co-host hasn't seen Black Clover. He doesn't know the context of it.
Got him.
So
my nuts have context. Got him.
So basically, that's it from me. Nah.
Yeah, you had something that you wanted to say about headsets.
Oh my God, I almost forgot about it. So there's a news right here. There was gonna be a picture right in the screen. Lay it on us. All right, there's gonna picture right here. You see the picture right in front of you, right now. That's the picture of the future of scientists believe gamers gonna look like. You see that?
Ooh.
You see the indent on the head of the character. I don't know if you could see it, but there's an indent on the head of the future of gamers. And in recent events, lots of streamers that wear headsets did charity, or people that are bald say that for charity I will shave my entire head. When they did, they saw the indent.
Oh my God.
They saw the indent and they were freaking the hell out. All of them, when they figured out they have the
peanut
indent,
head.
Yeah, when they finally figured out they have
peanut heads.
Yes. So when they finally figured out they have indents, they stopped wearing headsets. almost all of the content creators start using headsets that doesn't go over the head. So they're trying to avoid it, but some people believe that it's really too late for some.
Well, yeah, because some of these streamers, they like spend like hours and hours a day streaming and just like playing games
and have the headset.
Yeah, and interacting with their chat. And yeah, you know, oh my God, it's just freaky to me. It's just like I can't even wrap my head around like all that. So
dude, like
it sounds almost dystopian.
No, like literally, you bought me a headset for my streaming stuff, and I'm still wearing that streaming. So I have not decided not to wear it as much now. That's why, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been streaming much because of that's what happening. I've been not trying to stream as often because of that, because I got scared myself.
Well,
like,
yeah,
damn.
Because like because I think about like the creation of headphones. Like headphones really became like a thing around like, I want to say like maybe like around like the 1950s, 1960s, because, you know, they were made just for record players and people really didn't bring them out like portably. It wasn't until like maybe like the late 70s, like in the 80s, when like, you know, cassette players were like a thing. And then people started to like, you know, wear like big headphones out in public. And yeah, so but with like the invention of like streaming content and, you know, just like streamers like just playing like hours and hours and streaming hours and hours.
I'm guilty of that. I do that sometimes.
But I do see that a lot of the people that I watch in terms of streaming content, like a lot of them have switched to just, you know, plugging in a microphone to their computer.
Yeah, I literally have a microphone right now, but I don't have like anything to use it because my computer is shit and it will not handle the RAM of it. So I have not used it, but once I get a computer,
ram these nuts in your mouth.
I was expecting that. I knew that. My God, kill me now. Anyways, yeah. So that's just basically the news. What's happening, and if again. The picture's right there. Right in the screen. You see it? You see it?
Good old peanut head.
Yep. That's how gamers are going to look like in the future. Maybe. That's what the scientists are predicting. And since the dent is happening, everyone's like, shit, it's got to happen.
Yeah. Because your body, it just like, it conforms to like to the state that you're always in. Because that's why people say, you know, don't slouch. You're going to get a hunchback. You're going to get a humpback, you know, and it's true. You know, if you have bad posture, you're going to look all gangly and weird. Yeah. So that's the news for you. And let's just get into our feature presentation. All right.
Let's get to it, brother. Because I'm just here. My throat hurts as hell because of this fucking sickness I'm trying to get out of. And I kind of don't want to talk anymore, but I am going to stream later.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about, and I made a mistake early on in the episode. I said this movie came out in Stop it.
Oh,
stop it.
Sorry. I was
fucking douche.
I was doing something. Sorry, guys.
So I made a mistake earlier in the episode. I said that this movie came out in 1986. I was wrong. This movie was released in 1988. So today we're going to be reviewing the 1988 cyberpunk dystopian classic Akira.
The meme that got so popular.
Exactly. So this movie was
Get out of my head.
So this movie was created by Katsuhiro Otomo, who is also the director of the movie and the original author of the manga. So this movie was directed by the original manga creator. The movie came out in 1988, and it's a cyberpunk dystopian movie. The movie centers around these two characters named Tetsuo and Kaneda, and these two guys are part of a biker gang in Neo Tokyo. And so they live in Neo Tokyo, which literally means New Tokyo. So this is the city that was built out of the ashes of Old Tokyo, which was destroyed in World War III. So this movie takes place in an alternate universe where World War III happened in 1988, and Japan suffered an explosion which destroyed the capital city of Tokyo. And now the movie takes place in 2019.
Which almost happened in our actual timeline. We almost went to World War III.
we're gonna get into like some things that this movie predicted.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the movie takes place in 2019, and it mostly takes place. Well, it basically just takes place in Neo Tokyo. So in this version of Tokyo, this is a very rundown city. It's a city with a lot of economic problems, crime problems, and it has like a shady government. And one thing that's revealed is that the reason why World War III started wasn't because of nukes. It started because of a little boy who was named Akira, who the government learned that he possessed great telekinetic powers. And so
it caused a lot of shit to go down.
Yeah, and so again, this movie focuses on the two characters named Tetsuo and Kaneda. Tetsuo, of the two main characters, he is considered like the weaker, less intelligent and less clever character of the two. Kaneda is the leader of their motorcycle gang.
And has the iconic bike that everyone likes to reference in every animation.
Exactly, yeah. This movie is just so full of iconic scenes and iconic imagery and character design that, oh my God, like if you watch this movie, instantly you'll just get a lot of memories of like other TV shows or other movies that you've seen that have referenced this movie.
Yes, a lot. Just to name a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Batman the animated series.
The animated series.
Batman Beyond. Pokemon. Like every like movie and anime has referenced the motorcycle slide.
Yes.
Pokemon referenced it. Even Adventure Time referenced it.
Adventure Time, come and be in friends.
And actually recently, in live action, they recreated the motorcycle slide for the movie Nope from 2022.
Ah, that one, yeah.
Have you even seen Nope?
Nope.
Exactly.
Get it?
But they did it in live action. So this movie's just full of iconic imagery. But let's just kind of finish up the summary of the story before we really get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
So on one night where Tetsuo and Kaneda are battling this rival motorcycle gang, Tetsuo runs into this telekinetic child who is being experimented by the government. He crashes into Tetsuo, and because of this encounter, Tetsuo, he sort of absorbs like these psychic powers. But because Tetsuo has absorbed these psychic powers, he is captured by the government, and they do some tests on him, and they discover that he has a similar kind of like wave pattern of Akira, the boy who was responsible for causing World War III.
Oh no, World War IV is gonna happen.
Exactly. So the government is really afraid of a potential new disaster, of a potential new world war because of Tetsuo. So
and also it is bad for this guy to have it because he's in the mindset of destroying and doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because in this world, everything's like under like so much like tension.
Yeah.
And everyone just doesn't care for any other. They just mind their own damn business. If they destroy shit, they destroy shit.
It's very dystopian. The world is very dystopian. But just imagine like a reckless, violent teenager gets like the ultimate power to like destroy the world. Like that's basically like the premise of the movie. And so so Tetsuo inherits this power, and his friend Kaneda is also worried about him. And through the help of this girl named Kei, who is a freedom fighter, he's able to locate Tetsuo. But Tetsuo, unfortunately, wants to go his own path and decides to start rampaging through the city. So then it's up to the government, Kaneda and Kei and some other friends to stop Tetsuo from igniting basically the end of the world and also like World War IV. Yeah. And so that's the basic like premise of the movie. So before we really get into it, let's just give our initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts about it was really good because this is the first time I've actually seen Akira.
Yeah.
And I know all of you guys wait, a normie's recommending an anime?
I know.
Like, I know, guys. Like, what? But honestly, I never seen Akira. I always heard that Akira was a good animation.
It's very influential.
It's very, yeah. And I never had a chance to watch it myself. So when we first watched it, I was literally sink into the whole world. I was like figuring out what's happening. All right, this is happening. Okay. Oh, look, some predictions, some references from other anime as well. Because there was all the references from anime in there. I really loved it. For my rating for it, I'll give it a good solid 7.
Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. This is without being like with all sincerity, this is my favorite animated movie of all time. Like, some people will say, "Oh, Toy Story, Beauty and the Beast, Monsters Inc." Nah, for me, it's Akira. For me,
Akira.
this is like a solid 10 out of 10 movie for me because this movie gives me everything I want out of an animated movie. It's visually stunning. Some of the scenes are very beautiful to look at. It fills me with like a lot of emotion too. Maybe not like the traditional emotions that an animated movie gives you, like, like warm wholesomeness, but this one gives me like it gives me like a very visceral reaction. And I like the characters. I like the messages in the movie. This movie has like some very interesting messages. And I love the fact that this movie basically like is responsible for influencing not only just anime, but even American TV shows that came after it, and shows that I love and adore, like Evangelion, Cowboy Bebop, Batman Beyond. And so this is like one of my favorites of all time. This is one that I come back to time and time again. So let's really get into it. So let's first talk about like the characters. I really like the way that this movie handles its characters. Let's begin first with like Tetsuo and Kaneda, because you almost can't talk about these characters without talking one without the other.
Yeah, because they're the most main characters that shows up more often than the others.
Yeah, they're basically the protagonists of the movie. Yeah. You can almost call this like if you wanted to give it like a more accurate title, the more accurate title would be like Tetsuo and Kaneda instead of calling it Akira.
Well, it does focus on Akira, so
yeah, but Akira is not really, because here's the thing, like Akira is not a main character in the movie.
I know, but he's just the character that you want to become, because there's a lot of cults out there saying Akira will come back one day, save us all. Akira is the savior of this planet. Will bring us reputation.
Akira is this messiah type figure, and that's one thing I really like about like the world of this movie is that it really there's like just so much that they put into it, and I love the fact that you brought up the cults. That's like something that I used to not appreciate like when I was younger, but now I appreciate it more, because one thing about this movie is that this movie ages like really well, because so the movie takes place in 2019, but in 2020 we had like a lot of like protests and a lot of like social unrest that was very similar to this movie.
Like right now in France, they're still going to the
protesting the government.
Yeah, they're still doing it right now.
Yeah, so this movie really ages very well. But what did you think about Kaneda and Tetsuo?
I like their interactions. Like Kaneda was the one that wants to protect Shuto.
Yeah, Kaneda wants to protect Tetsuo.
Yeah, Tetsuo, and they've been friends since childhood. He basically like was the big brother that always protects him. Yeah. But Tetsuo takes it as an insult, saying that he's always being protected by him. He doesn't trust him. He deems him weak.
Yeah, he has an inferiority complex.
Yeah, but in reality, he's just protecting him.
Yeah,
making sure he's safe.
Yeah, but
like a brother would.
Exactly, because essentially, like when they were young, they were essentially like basically orphans. Even though Tetsuo was dropped off to this facility for children, like at an early age by his parents, they were basically orphans. They basically had to like fend for themselves. And you don't really see the parents of any of these kids in the movie.
They represent some, but they really don't show them.
Yeah, because basically like the way that the movie portrays like the youth, the teenagers in this movie, it basically shows that they're basically like on their own. Like there's no parents around to guide them. The teachers and the principals in their schools are all assholes. And so they have to resort to like, becoming like a gang to basically like survive this brutal, tough environment.
Even though they kill themselves in the gangs.
Yeah, true. But also it just makes you think like, what other option do these guys have? Do these kids have? Because they basically stay together in like dorm rooms. And they have to like basically like rely on each other to survive.
And also, if you guys notice when you do watch it, all the schools are just teaching them how to do maintenance on machines, and engines and cars and everything, because these kids are so much delinquents that they only care about riding their motorcycles and doing maintenance, that the only future they see them in is just doing repairs. That's it.
Yeah, it's very dystopian. How sort of like create this world, because like, they're not learning like math and like Shakespeare. They're not reading like classic novels. They're just learning like just vocational things, which is fine. But, because the way that we were probably like, educated in school, they probably made you read like Romeo and Juliet, the Odyssey, and all those types of classic books.
Yeah, to be illiterate.
to be literate. But yeah. But what did you think about like how they handled Tetsuo's character? Do you think like his progression through the story was a good way? Do you think that the movie did a good job in Tetsuo's character progression, like how he started off one way and then ended up another way by the end of the movie?
Just a refresher, Tetsuo's the guy.
Tetsuo's the guy who inherits the powers.
The powers. Yeah, his character was really like he was very like arrogant. Say, "Ha, I could do this on my own."
Yeah.
Gets captured. God told he got his powers. He went through having powers. Escaped to just go to whatever because he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Rip. And and then goes through having a superior complex, saying, "I'm better than you because I have powers now." Muhahaha. Finds Akira. Sees what Akira's state is. Made himself a throne after losing his arm in a battle.
Yeah.
And just basically try and say, "I rule the world now," and then rip.
Yeah. One thing that I like about his character is I feel that his character is very consistent throughout the movie.
Yeah, he didn't change that like dramatic.
Yeah.
But in the end, he finally realized what he's done is wrong now.
Yeah, because I think one thing that's very consistent about his character is that arrogance. Because at the beginning of the movie, it's his arrogance that makes him crash into the escaped kid in the abandoned highway.
And it was his arrogance that went into going on a rampage.
And it was his arrogance that ultimately got him killed, because one of the iconic scenes of the movie is at the end of the movie when they're in the Olympic Stadium, he basically becomes like this giant like blob of like flesh and machine. It's like very unsettling.
Yeah, and he took one person with him.
Yeah, he couldn't control his powers.
Yeah, because he didn't want to learn how to control his powers.
Exactly. It's because of that arrogance. And I like the fact that they keep that very consistent of his character throughout the whole film, because it makes sense, the actions that he takes throughout the movie.
Yeah, honestly, if he wasn't arrogant and he learned his abilities, he could have been God.
Maybe, yeah, if he was a little bit more like intelligent with how the way that he handled like his powers.
Yeah, well, in the world they're in, they don't use intelligence. They just use fists and
it's a very aggressive world. That's one thing I also like about the movie is that
it's basically almost like a Mad Max.
Yeah, it's very aggressive and it's very savage. Even though it's not like a desert dystopia. This is more like a cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah.
But you can really tell that there's like no law and order in this world.
Well, they do have it. It's not really effective.
Yeah, it's not really effective. And I really like those kinds of stories. I really like those cyberpunk stories that take place in like a city that's like basically lawless, and there's like a group of characters that have to fight like some kind of corruption. I really like those types of stories, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like Akira so much. What do you think of Kaneda?
Kaneda, I really like the motorcycle. His motorcycle was
nice. Very nice, and such an iconic design.
Yes,
and it's so like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like the way that the design of the motorcycle, the way that they use it, because that motorcycle is like everywhere, like throughout the movie.
Yeah, in the end it got busted up, but it still works.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like that motorcycle. It's almost like something like the Millennium Falcon or the Batmobile. It's become that iconic.
That's his bike.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about like Kaneda is like Kaneda, he's very much an anti-hero. Like he's not like
he is.
Like the actions in the movie that he like, the reason why he does things in the movie is not because he wants to like save the city or save like the universe.
No, he just wants to save his friend.
He
doesn't care he break any laws. He just wants to save his buddy.
Yeah, he wants to save his friend. He has to sometimes kill people in the movie to, get shit done. And also at the same time, he's also a pussy hound. He's going after this one girl that he has the hots for.
Yeah.
throughout the movie. And And yeah, and I think that makes him like an interesting protagonist too, because it's not just like the standard like, oh, like goody two shoes superhero.
Now,
Or like
I really like anti-hero characters.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool.
Yeah, he's really good because he goes off doing like his own thing.
Yeah, he does his own shit. He doesn't follow no goddamn rules.
Yeah, because I think one thing that a lot of people don't understand about, like, say, the creator of this movie and manga, I'm gonna say his name again, Katsuhiro Otomo, is that Katsuhiro Otomo was very inspired by 70s cinema. He was a big fan of movies like Bonnie and Clyde and Easy Rider. And so the thing about movies that were made in the 70s by Hollywood is that was a time where like there was where those movies, the movies that were being made, were breaking a lot of traditional conventions. So oftentimes the movies would star anti-heroes, movies like The Godfather, Bonnie and Clyde. So these weren't like regular, like good moral heroes. These were protagonists that had their own selfish interests, and the movie would revolve around them getting what they wanted. And oftentimes these movies involved a lot of crime. So it makes sense that Katsuhiro Otomo would be inspired by these gritty, serious dramas from the 70s. And you can really see that in the creation of Akira. Let's talk about the other characters. One other big character in this movie is the general.
Yes, the hero that is doing bad things to do good.
Yeah, so there is a character. Let me just pull up his name.
Well, this general we're talking to is the guy that's trying to make the city better, but because of the government that is running it does not give him the jurisdictions to do so, because he had multiple projects to make the world better.
Oh, the colonel. He's actually a colonel. So yeah, so the colonel character.
So yeah, the colonel is just trying to make the world better, trying to make the city better, trying to get the people education better, basically trying to save the city, but he's doing a lot of bad things to do that. He's like that hero. He's like that one saying from Zootopia. He's doing the bad things for good reasons.
Kind of, and you can really tell that. Because in the movie you can really tell that he's not a villain.
Nah, he's just a hero who wants to do the good thing.
He's a military man. He's a public servant character. Like, he has good intentions. He wants to avoid another catastrophe like Akira, but sometimes his methods are not the most ethical. But you can still kind of get behind like what he's doing, because you know that the reason why he's doing this, he's not doing this for power. He's doing this to prevent, to save lives, essentially, to prevent another world war. And one thing I think that makes him like somewhat of a likable character is his relationship with the three kids.
Yes.
So just to explain to the audience who haven't seen Akira, so there's these three characters who are known as espers. So an esper is like a person who has telekinetic abilities. And so these three young kids who are like, in terms of like their height, they're young kids, but the physicality, they look like old people, and they're also very pale. And so
they are old people. They're like in their 30s.
They're like, yeah, they're old because they were around when Akira was around.
Yeah, so they're old, even though they look like children, but they're actually old.
Yeah, and so these characters, they're telekinetic like Akira, and the colonel sort of, he kind of like looks after them. He's kind of like their pseudo father figure, and like he's not like mean or cruel to them. He actually, in a lot of the scenes, he kind of has a bit of affection towards the kids, and like at the beginning of the movie when that one kid gets broken out by the revolutionaries, when the colonel catches up to the kid he doesn't yell at the kid, he doesn't hit the kid, he's just very stern with him. So you see that he kind of has like a relationship with these kids, which kind of like adds layers to his character. And he does have affection and maybe a little bit of love for these kids.
Yeah, he cared for them so much. And in the end, when he was in danger, the kids saved him. Yeah. Told him to go under this bridge. He will be protected there.
Yeah. And the kids also, and good thing you mentioned that too. Even the kids have like some kind of love for him too. And that's like one thing that makes you really appreciate just like how the character dynamics work in this movie. Because it's not just so like black and white, good and evil. It's shades. It's shades of gray. It's a spectrum. And it's really interesting, and I love that about the movie. One thing that a lot of people often criticize about this movie is the characters. Well, not the characters, is like the role of the government in this movie. A lot of people don't like the way that the government is like portrayed or the way that the government is used in the story. I've never had a problem with how the government is portrayed in this movie, because I feel like the way that they use like the government and the politicians, they use them to serve a purpose, because there's a message that they want to send out. Did you have any problem with the way that they portrayed like the politicians or like the government of the world?
Nah.
Of this world?
Nah, I really don't care about them because they're shit anyways.
Exactly, because that's the point of the movie. Well, I mean, that's the point of those characters. The point of like the politicians is like the politicians are scummy slime bags.
Yeah, they're just shit. I don't care about them.
Yeah, who are only there for their own selfish purposes.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people criticize Akira, saying like, oh, the government, like these characters are two dimensional. They're one dimensional. They don't have any character. Well, it's not like they don't have any character, and it's not
just there to serve a purpose.
They're there to serve a purpose.
They don't need to be all the characters that we see has to have a reason why they're
or
there.
like a backstory or like
they're just characters to serve a purpose. That's it. Mm-hmm. Why are you giving purpose to a character that's not supposed to have purpose in a show?
Yeah, because sometimes characters in movies and TV shows, sometimes a character, the reason why they exist in that show or movie is because they're there to serve a purpose. And so the purpose is to show that this government is corrupt and it doesn't have the interest of the people in mind.
They only have the interest of keeping themselves fat and
in power.
In power, yeah.
Yeah, and did you notice that in the movie, one of the subplots is that they were looking for like a mole in the government?
Ah, yes, and the guy actually does look like a mole.
Exactly, yeah. So the one politician who is the one funding the revolutionaries, he straight up looks like a mole.
He kind of looks like the little fucked up version of Master Yoda and Master Splinter. Like, yes, these children here will be the future of our world. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, so he looks like that, but he's also kind of like a selfish piece of shit too, because
when he gets ratted out by one of the fighter workers going to his house,
he kills him
with the colonel arresting all of the politicians, telling them that they have betrayed the city.
Yeah.
One of the freedom fighters went to him, basically saying, "You ratted me out," and start shooting and taking all the money of cases he's been saving himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically ran away, trying to save himself, but dies in the end.
Yeah, he has a heart attack.
Yeah, it's so dumb. There's reasons why the politicians don't need character at all, because we know what they are. Mm-hmm. They're shit ass.
Yeah, because that's just I guess it's just like, I don't know. It's like I would always hear people criticize the movie saying like, oh, the politicians and the politics is very confusing. It's like, no, this is just like the politics in this movie is just a reflection of the kind of corrupt politics that we see in real life. Like, if you're not up to date with like how the world works or how politicians are slimy and scummy, like you're not going to understand, because also this movie really doesn't hold your hand in terms of like backstory.
No, it does. You have to figure it out all on your own when you go through it.
Exactly. And yeah, so for characters, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about the animation, because this movie in terms of animation is very impressive. Did you notice like anything specific about the animation in terms of like the night scenes that kind of stand out from other animes and other movies?
No, I did not.
So one thing that you see in this movie, this animated movie, that's not really done or that's not really used that often in a lot of animated movies that I see, is the use of light. Did you notice that throughout a lot of the scenes in this movie that there was like a lot of light being animated?
A lot of light? Oh yeah, just being on characters' faces and everything?
Not just that, but also like just like in the backgrounds, they would, because like this movie takes place in Tokyo, and one thing that Tokyo is really known for is the way that they use neon like lights, the way that they use projectors or like big screens.
Yeah,
so
I
like
didn't really pay attention to the lights.
but
I thought they look good in the background.
Yeah.
You know, flashy.
Yeah, but the great thing about the way that they animate light is that they had to animate that light all with hand. So they had to like animate that light by actually painting like brighter colors onto the backgrounds and onto the characters. Because remember, this movie was made before the wide use of CGI. This was all done by hand.
Got it.
Because and I forgot to mention that this is a 2D animated movie. This isn't like a 3D animated movie.
All drawn by hand.
Yeah, so the light really plays an important part in the look of the film. That's what I think gives the film its distinct look, because a lot of the movie takes place at night. And so the way that they designed the colors of the light and the way that the light was used is very it's very influential, because I remember like watching things later on that came after Akira, like Gundam and like Cowboy Bebop, and you can really see the influence of how light was animated and the way that light was used in the background. But also light plays an important part of the story, because you mentioned how sometimes you would see like lights just hitting the characters like straight forward, or like sometimes there would be like lights blinding other characters.
Yep.
Light also is used as a motif in the story, because light is used to represent the oppressiveness of the government. Because oftentimes there was like scenes in the movie where there was like riots, and you would see like the police like shining like these big like floodlights onto the crowd, and so light sort of represents like the oppressiveness of the government. And also like one of the things about the movie, or like one of the things about the climax of the movie, is that the government uses this giant space laser to kill Tetsuo, and which fails, but the way
does do damage.
Yeah, but the way that it's animated, it's like this huge beam of light that is being shot at Tetsuo. And so light plays an important part in the themes of the movie.
It looked cool, honestly.
Yeah, and yeah, but let's also talk about like the action scenes. The action scenes
There's
are
a lot
really,
of action scenes. I really like the fight between Tetsuo and I forgot the other guy. Kaneda. Yeah, when he finally finds him, he gets a laser pack from one of the dead soldiers he killed.
Yeah.
And he basically took the laser and started shooting. He was just moving around with his bike, got out of his bike, moved around, shot him.
Yeah.
And everything. It was very cool. And then when he runs out of batteries, then he recharges all those batteries and got more batteries, so he'd be able to continue shooting more and fight more. It was really cool. I really like that concept of laser weapons. Laser weapons is like that basically cool thing to have, because it's better than bullets. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars interests me because of their laser weapons, but they do have guns in that world, but it doesn't really is used that much because bullets can be destroyed by lightsabers instantly. But it does hurt the users of lightsabers because they do fractures.
Yeah. I also, one thing I like about the lasers is that they're very deadly. Because remember that one iconic scene that they're on the bridge and the soldiers are shooting at Tetsuo, and Tetsuo creates like the force field,
and makes the lasers
bounce.
Not basically bounce.
Like basically bend
the lasers to go around him,
and then it starts hitting like the protesters who are following him.
Yeah, and kills them all.
Yeah, and it's just really good. And like the violence in this movie is just is unique, because you don't really see this type of violence in a lot of other movies and shows anymore. Well, not anymore, but like even
because
since
it's much more tamed, because the media of TV and everything wants to make sure everything's more tamed so they can suppress us more.
True. But I just find it so interesting that they just got so creative with like the violence in this movie.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like the violence. Honestly, everything of this movie is pretty great. I loved it all. With the violence, then that's what makes it better, because you see like every I would like to say every 5, 10, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
There's always something happening of violence, a gang violence, a gang war happening,
Mm-hmm.
protesting happening, media sharing
Fighting
what's
with
happening.
soldiers, fighting with police.
Yeah, it shows a lot. They don't skip it. They don't show once or twice here and there. No, they show it a lot.
Yeah.
They show how bad the government is like trying to suppress people and trying to like
Mm-hmm.
do whatever the fuck they want and
Yeah.
not care what the people are doing. They just like, all right, here you go, have this, and oh, you fucking over. You're here fucking with me. Get smacked. Get in place. And then
Yeah.
like everything about this, like even the freedom fighters. We see some scenes where the freedom fighters try to go on to save this kid,
Mm-hmm.
which we find out
He's one of the espers.
the espers. They show how bad the government like suppress them,
Mm-hmm.
like how like they don't care about the people at all, because
Yeah.
now of today, in some animes, they care about their people.
Mhm.
They care about the Japanese people. They care about their own people. They protect them and everything.
Yeah. It's
But
really
in this animation, they really don't care at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I've been doing not like a lot of research, but I have been doing like some research on some like manga creators, and it's really interesting to see like where they stand politically and how that influences their work. Because I would say that a lot of manga artists are very liberal, very progressive people, but there are a few of them who are very conservative, and it's very interesting to see how that affects their the output of their work and how like the way that they tell their stories. But also going back to the violence is also very visceral. It's almost at times very gut wrenching. Because do you remember at the beginning of the movie when they're having like their first motorcycle chase?
Yes.
And they're chasing down the rival gang, and there was that one scene where like one of the bikers crashes into like a restaurant, and there's a couple sitting at a table being waited on by a waiter, and then one of the motorcyclists crashes in through the glass window, and his front tire basically crushes the head of like the dude sitting at the table.
Yep.
Like you don't really see that even in like rated R action films. You don't see like that kind of violence. And I think because it's animated, you're able to pull that stuff off and make it like even more shocking. Because if it was a live action movie, they would like cut away from that like very quick, or they wouldn't show like the whole action happening. And yeah, it's very visceral. Like I remember the scene where Tetsuo is hallucinating, that iconic scene, you know, the Akira, when he's having his like little like mental breakdown, and he falls to the ground and he imagines like all his guts spilling out onto the pavement.
Yeah, they show a lot of gruesome scenes. Like damn. Like right now while we're talking, I am literally looking at the protests of France right now. They're basically doing everything what Akira is doing right now.
Yeah. And it's and again, like that's just one of the things that just makes this movie so iconic, because it's like it's willing to like take risks and take chances. So let me talk a little bit about like the production of this movie. Did you notice that in the credits it says a presentation of the Akira Committee, or Akira Committee Presents? Do you know what that's all about?
Nope.
So the way that this movie was created is that investors came up to Katsuhiro Otomo. Sorry.
Just say his last name.
Otomo. So they came up
proper.
So they came up to Otomo proposing that he creates a movie out of his popular manga, because this was a manga before it was a movie. So investors came up to him and asked him, "Hey, you know, we want to invest in a movie based on your manga." And so what they did is that they got like all these companies. They even got Bandai. Yeah, they got Bandai. They got this company that created the laser discs. They got like all these companies together to invest into making this movie. So this movie was that's how the movie got its funding. And so that's why like in the credits it says the Akira Committee. So all these companies got together, gave Otomo the money to produce the movie, and this movie was produced by TMS Animation. And they're an animation house in Japan that's still going on today, and they've worked on many animated TV shows, both American and Japanese. And so, yeah, so this movie was basically made with the funding of corporations, which is funny because they kind of like, they kind of like criticize like corporations and corporate culture in the movie. Because remember in that one scene in the beginning of the movie where like the one kid was being chased by the dogs?
Yeah.
And there was like a quick shot of like a commercial of like happy barking dogs eating dog food. And then it quickly just cuts to like these police dogs like ready to attack. Yeah. So it's just so funny that like all these corporations got together to fund a movie that basically kind of like criticized them. But what was also interesting about how the movie was made is that Akira was made during a time in Japan where there was like an economic bubble. So what that means is that this was during a time in Japan's economy where like a lot of people were investing a lot of money in the Japanese stock market. So that means that they were investing in a lot of these companies. And during this time in the 80s, Japan was doing very well in electronics. Televisions like Toshiba, Sony, Nintendo was also, starting to get really popular with their video games. So this was a time in Japan's economy where a lot of people were seeing like great success in products, and also they wanted to invest. So people were just investing their money. And it got to a point that a lot of other countries were starting to worry that Japan was going to become like the number one economy in the world. There was even like movies that came out during this time that were basically like afraid that Japan was going to become like the number one like economic superpower. Like I remember there was the movie Die Hard. If you ever seen the movie Die Hard, the building where that movie takes place, it's owned by a Japanese company. RoboCop 3, a big part of that movie is that the big corporation in the city of New Detroit, it's being bought by a Japanese conglomerate. And so there was and Back to the Future 2, that's also like a plot point in Back to the Future 2 where like the character Marty McFly, his boss is a Japanese businessman. So there was just like a lot of movies back then, like in the late 80s and early 90s, where people were afraid that Japan was going to take over like the economy. And even like in the early 90s, Sony bought Columbia Pictures. And so people were like thinking like, oh my God, Japan bought an American movie studio. Yeah. And so it was very crazy around that time. But then later on, by like 1991 or so, 1992, the bubble burst because people were investing a lot of money in companies, but the companies weren't performing. They weren't profiting. So then it just all burst. So then, it just seems so crazy that people were so afraid that Japan was going to take over in the world economy.
All right, one thing before we continue on. What is Die Hard? Because I hear that so many times.
Die Hard is this action movie from the 80s. I forget exactly when it came out, but it's this action movie from the 80s. It stars Bruce Willis. He plays a cop from New York or Chicago, but he's in LA. He comes to LA to see his ex-wife at her Christmas party. But the company that she works at, terrorists break in to the building and they demand a ransom. And the company, like I mentioned, the heads of the company are Japanese businessmen. And in the movie, one of the characters, the boss, is a Japanese guy. And spoiler, the Japanese guy gets killed in the movie. And so Bruce Willis's character has to go around the whole building and stop the terrorists and free his wife and her coworkers from these evil terrorists who are holding them captive.
Damn, all right.
And so so Akira was basically made during this time. And during this time, also a lot of companies were investing in anime, because also this movie came out in 1988, and during the time in Japan in anime, there was like a lot of anime that was very popular. Dragon Ball, Urusei Yatsura, Sailor Moon. So during this time, a lot of companies were investing big on anime. And so it makes sense that, Akira would be created during this time, because just like look at the animation, just like look at all the detail. Imagine like all the manpower and work hours that they had to put in to make this movie.
It was beautiful.
Anime was created because of companies. My God.
Yeah, but they were really like investing heavily on anime, and also like Dragon Ball was like the biggest like thing ever in Japan for like a while, and it not only made like sold a lot of manga, it sold like a lot of merch, and it had big ratings too.
It still does.
Still does, but definitely like at its peak, Dragon Ball was like a powerhouse. Dragon Ball was kind of like what the MCU was like today.
Damn.
But going back to Akira, so one thing that actually a lot of people get wrong about Akira is that originally people think that originally it was a box office bomb. A lot of people think that Akira bombed at the box office, but to be clear, it didn't. So Akira didn't exactly like, it wasn't the highest grossing movie ever made. The movie did all right. It was made for I believe 700 million yen, and so worldwide it made about $49 million. So the money that it made in theaters kind of evens out with how the movie did with the price of the movie. So it kind of broke even, to be fair. And also, Akira is just one of those movies that is more popular, like that became more popular because of VHS and DVD than when it was released in theaters. Akira is kind of like one of those cult movies that just had a better life in home media rather than in the theaters, which is really surprising for me, but also kind of not, because also like Akira is a pretty bleak movie. It doesn't really have like a happy ending.
No, it doesn't, but it's good. It's good how it ended.
It is good how it ended.
How it ended, that's all.
But do you know that also like the director of the movie, who's also the author of the manga, he also didn't finish the manga before he finished the movie?
Really?
So the ending of the manga is slightly different from the ending of the film, which I haven't read the manga, but now that I've watched Akira again recently, I do want to get into the manga to really see the differences. I wish I would have read it, but it's just something I've never really gotten into. And yeah, but it reminds me of the situation with Scott Pilgrim. Do you know of Scott Pilgrim, right?
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So
yes.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, it got a movie that was released in 2010.
It was good.
It was a good movie.
Really good movie. I love it.
But the books, the graphic novels that it was based off of, those were 6 volumes. So the movie basically condenses the story of the 6 books, but also the movie was also being made the same time that the final books were being drawn and written. So both the director of that movie and the author kind of had to like compromise and work together to create an ending for the movie and also create an ending for the books. So it's one of those weird situations that you don't get too often. Also, kind of like Harry Potter also kind of had that thing, because like the first Harry Potter movie came like the last Harry Potter movie didn't come out. I mean, the last Harry Potter book didn't come out till years afterwards.
Yeah, because she was still writing the book.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. So it's very interesting how everything came together. And I think one of the reasons why one of the reasons why Akira became such a big phenomenon on home video is because like the Laserdisc company also funded the movie. So, they had incentive to, push it out on Laserdisc, and other companies probably have like a lot of incentive to release it on VHS and all that stuff back when the movie was released. And also like the movie helped introduce anime to American audiences, because before this movie was released, the idea that a lot of American audiences had about an animated movie was like they probably only thought of animated movies as just like the stuff that Disney would create. Like for them, an animated movie was like Cinderella, Pinocchio, Snow White. Like that's their idea of a movie. So once the movie Akira came out on VHS and was being shown on television, it really sparked a lot of people's interest. So we probably wouldn't have like this sort of anime culture that we have right now, like on the internet and just today, without Akira being like that gateway drug into the world of anime, because Akira became a very popular movie to own and to rent on VHS for a lot of people here in the United States. And also, you can really tell that Akira is very influential on American animators, because I think about like the people who created Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond. Do you remember Batman Beyond?
Yes, I do.
So a lot of like Batman Beyond takes a lot of influence from Akira.
Really?
Like,
why?
so
I never noticed that.
So if you notice the way that the city is designed in Batman Beyond, it's very reminiscent of Akira, because in Batman Beyond early on, Terry McGinnis, the new Batman, he had to fight a lot of like bikers, because in the show there's these bikers known as the Jokers who took inspiration from the Joker, and they ride around in motorcycles.
Yeah.
So Terry McGinnis, Batman in that show, has to fight them off a lot in the earlier seasons. Also, the way that the city is designed, it like a lot of shots and a lot of like backgrounds give me a lot of Akira vibes, even though it's not like completely the same. Just the way that they stage the camera and they design the buildings gives me a lot of Akira vibes. Also, the satellite that they used to kill Tetsuo with at the end of the movie. Do you remember the movie Batman Beyond: The Return of the Joker?
Oh yeah,
the one where the Joker.
Yeah, when the Joker controls the government's laser and fought with the Beyond Batman.
Yeah. So
Terry, and then he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, I know that. That's a really famous scene when the Joker returned.
Yeah, so in that movie, in the plot of that movie, the Joker is stealing tech so that he can control this laser on a satellite that the government uses for warfare to target places in Neo Gotham, and also, Neo Tokyo, Neo Gotham. And so Batman Beyond takes a lot of inspiration from Akira as well. Also Terry McGinnis. In the show, throughout the show, he becomes a better person throughout the show. But at the beginning of the show, he's a juvenile delinquent, much like the characters in Akira.
And also, how when Batman Beyond ended, it just ended giving a big bomb that Terry McGinnis is actually Bruce Wayne's son, and they were trying to create another Batman, but they didn't really pull through. But it did happen anyways.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was different with Terry and Bruce is he didn't have the intelligence of the brain of Batman, only the heart.
Yeah, but you can really see how, like, something like Akira also gave us like an awesome property like Batman Beyond. And also, like, in the show before Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, they do a lot of references to Akira. Like Robin does the motorcycle slide that Kaneda does.
Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, does the jumping on bike attacking the rider.
Yeah, that famous scene when he saves Tetsuo. Yeah, so you can really tell that Batman and Batman the Animated Series were very influenced by Akira. And actually, did you know that in the original Batman the Animated Series, a lot of the episodes were animated by TMS, the same studio that produced Akira? So that's actually another connection that they have. And you can probably tell that the producers really wanted to work with them because they were so impressed with what they did in Akira.
Yep.
And also, what's also kind of a weird little reference that you see in American animation to Akira?
What?
South Park. So early on in one of the early episodes of South Park, Cartman decides that he wants to become a beefcake because he sees a commercial. So he starts eating like all this food and stuff to become buff. But like by the end of the episode, he becomes like this giant, unstable, gelatinous blob, similar to how similar to how Tetsuo looked at the end of the movie. And you could really tell that the South Park creators were really big into like early 90s anime, because also in the South Park movie, there's a couple like references to like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. So you can really tell that those creators were like really into like old anime.
I see.
And yeah, so I just basically was like gushing all over this movie. Anything else that you want to talk about Akira before we come to our conclusion?
Nah, I liked it. It was. You
liked
good.
it?
If I read the manga, I probably would have liked it even more.
I definitely would like to read the manga too. I really want, because Because one thing I feel about myself, and I don't know about you, is that I really don't pick up manga unless I've already seen the show or movie.
What?
Yeah,
That's the best part. If you read the manga and you see the anime, like Toma-chan is a girl. I read the whole entire manga of that, and when it finally got animated, I loved everything. They cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah,
they cut a lot of stuff out, but it's okay. It's okay. The manga was better. I
Yeah.
love reading the manga stuff. Like, what was the oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. There's an anime that is coming out called I Love My Girlfriend. I have 100 girlfriends that I really love. That's getting an animation, and I read all the manga during its current chapter right now, and it's getting an anime adaptation. So I'm so happy it's got an adaptation because that manga is so goddamn good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like I'm more of a movie and TV guy. And so the thing about with me and Akira is like I know for one thing that I'm not going to get from the manga is like just like the direction, like the light effects, the animation of it. Like I'm still going to have like the story, and I'm still going to have like the composition of like the panels cuz the art is really good, and the movie and the manga is made by the same person. So I at least have a good feeling that I'm gonna get like cool designs, cool art composition. I'm just not gonna get like the animation of it all. But one thing that is really cool that because I've started like reading like My Hero Academia and the Dragon Ball manga, and I'm just so impressed on how well they were able to adapt both of those both those mangas into the anime. Because like especially for like My Hero Academia, you could make an argument that they just use the panels of the manga as storyboards for the actual anime adaptation.
But of course, they had to add things here and there to make it flow.
Because the manga you read it vertically, and in a movie or in an anime you have to watch things horizontally. But it's really I just find it so interesting watching the anime first and then going into the manga, which has been like just like my journey with like anime in general, because I started watching anime like on Toonami. So I never knew that there was a manga. I didn't even know what manga was until I was probably like in middle school
Same here.
Yeah, because I remember just having conversations with kids, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, in the manga Naruto does this and this and this," and I'm like, "Wait, how do you know that? They didn't show that on the show." It's like, manga, dude. They wrote a comic book, and it's like, what? There's a comic book about Naruto? What? And I thought, oh, this is just an adaptation. It's like, no, the show is the adaptation of the book.
Yep. And then once I figured that out, I started reading the manga of those shows. And I'm really like almost every anime that is coming out this season, I already read them.
Yeah.
So me seeing that it's coming out makes me happy in anime form. So it's pretty awesome. I love it. I just don't like how they cut out some things. Like Tomo-chan is a girl. They cut off so many things from the manga that made it nice, way better. Especially the mom scene with her.
Oh my god! So I haven't seen the show or the manga that you're referencing.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. It's so good. It's so good.
But just to play devil's advocate, like I mentioned before, sometimes when you're adapting something, some things just don't translate. I would understand why they might cut out some things. No, the things they cut out
from Tomo-chan is a girl. They cut up a lot of things that will progress the story. They took out so many things that will progress the story so much, and they took it out.
Right. Okay. But yeah, sometimes you just have to adapt certain things.
Yeah, whatever. Make the story better.
But let me ask you. But I just have one last question for you. Was there anything about Akira that you didn't like?
The gore. I don't like gory stuff that much. I can handle blood and cuts and like his body limbs being cut off, but when he starts showing all the guts and every detail of the blood coming out and squirting everywhere, just my body just goes.
Yeah. Okay. But like anything in terms of like story or characters that
I liked it. I liked it very much. I really liked the story of the plot.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear.
I'm the man of plot. You guys should know this. I stream Genshin Impact, and I just go straight with the plot and story. I just go through all the dialogue and just go through the meanings of it.
You can plot these nuts.
Well, I'm not
Got
gonna
'em.
say I'm the master of the plot because there's already another Genshin creator out there that goes through the actual plot of everything of Genshin, which props to her. Miss Lips, props to you, girl. You go through all of it, and I love watching your videos because you go through a lot more stuff that I do. I did not know. I love that.
All right. I don't know the creator, so my is not in any indication of my feelings towards them.
Yeah, you better not insult them. She goes through all Genshin lore, every detail of it. She goes through all of it, and I love it.
I will mention this one thing. One thing that I hate about certain fans, they're like, the Akira doesn't really go into like the lore. It's like, you fucking stupid ass. Like, that's not the point of the story. But anyway, continue.
So no, that's it. I'm done. I just love like the lore of Genshin, but there's someone else that goes through all the dialogue, every like book, artifact information, story information, character information, everything. She goes through all of it, and she like explains it very simple under 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that because I sometimes want to know the lore, but I don't have much time because of work to do my own search for information. So watching her videos explain certain things that I wanted to know was blessing.
Okay. So with that being said, that is a wrap on our discussion on Akira. If you guys like and enjoy the movie, tell us in the comments.
And also recommend other stuff as well.
Yeah,
that
recommend
you want us
other
to
stuff.
watch.
And
We will get to it, but we're not going to get to it quickly. But we will get to it.
yeah, and so if you like us, make sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcast at Anime Match Cut Podcast. Twitter, we are at Anime Match Cut Pod, and also Anime Match Cut Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. My lovely co-host, where do you stream?
I stream at Twitch. You guys can follow me at Dragon9074. It will be changing soon. I just need to make sure because I changed my name earlier and someone has it already. So I'm trying to figure out a name that will be way different. Will sounds like an actual name, not just a tag logo. So you guys can follow me at Twitch. I'll be streaming anytime I have available free time.
Okay, and so tell me, my lovely co-host, what are we going to be watching next?
Oh my God, I was unprepared. I didn't get the list. I didn't get the name out. Hold up. We're going to the list. Going down to the list. Going down to the list. Sorry, guys. It's just like my streams. Scuffed. It's always scuffed. We are watching an anime called 100.
Damn.
We're watching an anime called 100, and if you guys
keep
know,
it 100, main.
Not that 100, different 100.
Keep it 100, main.
If you guys know what 100 is, we're gonna see a lot of plot.
You can plot my balls. Hey, got him.
Actually happens. So, not gonna lie, not really.
These nuts
Not really.
happened.
So,
Hey,
guys,
got him.
hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, subscribe, and we guys see you guys next time. Bye.
My balls say bye. Hey, got him.
Just say goodbye.
My nuts. Hey.
All right, we're done. Goodbye, guys.
All right, my balls.
Say goodbye once.